The sun's not up yet, but I still need to get my run in. So what should I be doing in this instance? Well, fortunately for both of us, we're going to be talking to Kerry Little from Lutz Locker today about just what we should be doing when we're running after dark. I am a fan of wintertime, which is a good thing because I'm living in one of the coldest places in the world. But seriously, I love the cold air whenever I'm running. I love snow when I'm in a place where there actually is some. But the thing that I really don't care for when it comes to wintertime is the sunlight, or the lack thereof. If I want to go for a run before work, I'm in the dark. If I want to go for a run after work, I'm still in the dark. And with the lockdowns in effect here in Calgary, going to the gym to run on a treadmill is absolutely out of the question. So when you have no choice other than to run outside in the dark, what are some things you need to keep in mind, and what do you need to do to stay safe when the lighting conditions are less than stellar?
First, let's go over some basic safety tips. Always run with a buddy if you can. That way, if something happens to you, they can help you out, or they can go run and get help. If you are listening to music, make sure one of those ear pods are out of your ears so you can be aware of your surroundings. If you run on the road, make sure you are facing traffic so you can avoid those cars and bikes coming at you. You can ditch off to the side really quick. You won't be able to see them if you're running with traffic. But always remember, if you are running on a path without vehicular traffic, you need to be on the right side. Another thing is, when you head out the door, make sure you have some kind of ID with you. Many times we just don't think about this little piece of information. But if you're not responsive and a first responder is trying to help you, they don't know who you are or who to contact. A police officer gave me a good tip one time. They said, when they come upon a non-responsive victim, they're looking through clothes, they'll take your shoes off. And our shoes, our running shoes, all have removable insoles on them. So if you write your name, emergency contact, your address even, on the bottom of those insoles, that will give them some valuable information to help you out.
A lot of that is great information no matter what time of day you're running. And I notice way too often people running with the flow of traffic. And that's not only dangerous for them, but it's also annoying for other runners that are running on the appropriate side of the street. They'd either have to jump up on the sidewalk or run further out into traffic to avoid them. Also, I don't know about you, but I'm noticing a little bit of a trend when it comes to runners wearing headphones and not being able to hear what's going on around them. But now, how do we make sure that the people around us, especially the ones in cars, are aware of what we're doing?
Now, don't be in the dark. There, as you can see, there are lots of products out there that can light you up, and reflective strips on clothes. This neat little Christmas light that I have on me, some armbands that blink, and then another thing to consider is for you to see, and as well as to be seen. There's all kinds of headlights out there that really light up, but you can put them on your head. There's stuff you can put on your belt. There's lights that you can put on your shoes too, to keep you very visible, to be seen and to see. So shine like the star that you are, and be safe out there, and we will see you on the roads.
There really are a ton of great products out there to make sure that you're easily visible. A simple reflective vest like this works great, although I have to admit, I would love to get a light-up vest like Kerry has. And something else that Kerry mentioned is a headlamp. Something like this that I got for Christmas is like $10. It came from the Canadian equivalent of TJ Maxx, and it just uses AAA batteries. And something like this is going to not only help you see where you're going, but this super bright light is gonna let any car coming your direction know exactly where you are, as long as you're facing them. And then Jessica got me these awesome gloves with lights on the back, so it's like I'm carrying 2 flashlights around with me, but I don't have to grip anything. And any running store is gonna have a ton of stuff to choose from. But in the meantime, if you don't have anything reflective, if you don't have anything that lights up, the best thing that you can do is wear lightly colored clothing. You don't wanna be a ninja out there, because then cars aren't going to be able to see you. And one last thing that Kerry mentioned that I thought was super important that I didn't even think about is to make sure that you're really familiar with your route before you go in the dark. Make sure that you know where there are any road hazards, like potholes. I have a friend that slipped in a pothole and knocked her front teeth out. So go for a little run during the day before you check out this route at night. And also, just quickly think about where you might go in case of an emergency. Hopefully you never need it, but just have that in the back of your mind. And thanks so much to Kerry for all of her amazing tips. I know that this will not be the last time that you will see her because she has so much running knowledge, and I know she's going to be incredibly helpful in continuing to answer all of your questions. Speaking of which, this is that time again where I ask you to send in your questions. I'm sure that you are not the only one who has that question, so other people will thank you, and also, it just lets me know what you want me to make videos about. So, you can leave your question right down there below in the comments, or if you want to send it directly to me, send it to rye@runproject.org. Have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.